hard when there are people that are visiting that are spending their money and enjoying food and going out and swimming in the waters where people have perished recently or have escaped recently to escape the fires. And it's hard to know that they are enjoying themselves while the rest of Maui still tries to cope with what is going on.
Officials are continuing to search for survivors and victims of the deadliest U.S. wildfire in more than a century in Hawaii. The blaze has razed the town of Lahaina to the ground. 99 people have been confirmed dead so far, and search teams have only accounted for around 25% of the town. Former US President Barack Obama, who lived in Hawaii as a boy, has urged people to support those affected.
Like so many people around the world, Michelle and I have been absolutely heartbroken by the devastating images coming out of Maui and Lahaina over the last week. You know, as someone who grew up in Hawaii, as someone who has taken my family to enjoy the incredible beauty of that island and the hospitality of the people of Lahaina, we now find ourselves mourning the lives that are lost, and our thoughts and prayers go out to the families that have lost so much. The thing about it is, though, thoughts and prayers in a moment like this are not enough. We have to step up, and we have to help those families, and we have to help Lahaina rebuild.
Well, joining us now is Billy V, who is in Hawaii. He's a reporter at Hawaii News Now. Thank you very much indeed for being with us. Could you fill us in on the current situation in Hawaii?
Aloha. Good morning from Hawaii. Right now it is still 7:19 in the morning, Hawaii Standard Time, and we're getting up to another day of finding out what the latest details are. Of course, as you mentioned, 99 people, but they're expecting the numbers to go up by the hundreds. Latest is that power is still being restored in some places. The fire still burns. 88% of it has been 85% contained for the Lahaina side. Upcountry, they are saying 65% contained. There are hot spots that they are having to deal with. And once again, people are finding it difficult and slow as cadaver dogs and search teams are still having to go through the rubble of Lahaina in order to find out which properties are cleared and which properties still have to be searched as far as human remains.
Just listening to that report, that appeal from Barack Obama, what resources does Hawaii need now that it doesn't have?
There is not a lot that it doesn't have. It just wishes it had more of it. Of course, food, water are a couple of items which are in need. But they are saying that, and they're asking, no more clothing. And they're saying that money is the best way, of course, monetary donations. What's needed more than anything else is patience, because it's slow, the process. Toxic materials are still in the ground. That all needs to be cleaned up as the days progress in order to get not only to find out how many people truly have perished in this disaster, but also just to clear the ground so that way things can move forward as far as the rebuilding. And that rebuilding process is still quite a ways away. It may be weeks, it may be months.
It's. Are you expecting that President Biden will visit?
That's. We're hopeful that the president will visit. Hopefully that will lift the spirits of people right now, which is solely needed. But it's hard to know if that will do that. There's just so much going on right now on the island. There are also, you may have heard, people that are still visiting our islands, and on the island of Maui specifically. It's hard when there are people that are visiting that are spending their money and enjoying food and going out and swimming in the waters where people have perished recently or have escaped recently to escape the fires. And it's hard to know that they are enjoying themselves while the rest of Maui still tries to cope with what is going on.
Hilton has been named as one of those. Would it be a good idea if they went home?
It would be a good idea if they went to another island. Hawaii is not closed down. Maui is, though, and Maui has asked visitors that this is not a good time to come. And still, yet people are climbing on planes. It would be best if they went to another island and enjoyed perhaps there, because the economy still needs to work. People still need to work. But Maui may not be the best place, especially when you need workers to serve you. In other words, like a luau or a party. That would be difficult for the Maui residents who are employees to deal with.
Obviously, the priority now is to deal with the consequences of the fire. But what is the thought as to why this fire has happened and why it's been so devastating?
It may be not so much the why it happened, because the why is pretty apparent. Of course, the winds. We were under a fire hazard at the time, although nobody had even vaguely thought, even though the experts and environmentalists have warned us sporadically throughout years, that this possibly could happen. But nobody even conceived of the devastation, the speed, the ferocity. And so the why, not so much. It's just the response to let people know that it's happening. And then even that, with the fire department fighting multiple fires at the time that Lahaina sparked, and with the speed that it moved, nobody could have conceived that.